A U.S. brokered 72-hour ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine expires today as both sides accuse each other of violating it over the weekend. Similar ceasefires announced since Russia invaded Ukraine more than 4 years ago have also failed to stop the fighting. But Russian President Vladimir Putin said Saturday he believes the conflict is nearing its end. Though there is no sign right now either Russia or Ukraine are close to compromising on their key negotiating points. For more on this, let's bring in Michael Bociurkiw. He is a global affairs analyst, senior fellow at the Atlantic Council, and creator of World Briefing newsletter on Substack. Michael, so good to have you on. You know, the ceasefire was also supposed to include a massive 1,000-person prisoner exchange. Did that actually happen?
Yeah, good to be with you. I believe it happened. I mean, I saw images on Ukrainian Telegram channels of prisoners arriving to Ukraine. With that big number, it's probably going to be in phases. There's a lot of processing involved and, ratification of who gets who. But it is a sign of what we used to call in the business confidence building mechanisms between these two warring sides, that they can actually agree on something that complicated and that sizable. So I think that could potentially bode well for ceasefire talks, possibly even face-to-face between Vladimir Putin and President Zelensky, possibly with Turkey or the EU as the middleman.
So if the two sides couldn't abide even for just 3 days, a 3-day ceasefire, can the U.S. ever hope to implement a full stop to the war?
Well, I don't think it'll be the U.S. Or Mr. Trump implementing this ceasefire, although having said that, in this trip to Beijing, he could ask, as Anna indicated, not only Mr. Xi to put an end to the war in Iran, Xi could also pick up the phone and call Putin and say, put an end to the war with Ukraine. He has the influence over Putin to do that, that leverage. But I think that now that President Putin has said we are ending the war with Ukraine, that he really feels pressure, economic pressure. He is paranoid about Ukraine striking Moscow again. And the other thing to mention here is Ukraine is a lot less reliant on the United States because it has developed its arms industry to the point where it could strike very deeply into Russia on very, very key targets. So they have a lot more leverage now, and I think the Russians are realizing that too.
Okay, Michael Bociurkiw, thank you so much for your time and sharing your perspective.
Thank you.